Today, I'm going to be talking about training mode, because I'm pretty sure we all need to spend a little more time in there. But the main question a lot of people have is, what do I even practice when I'm in there? So for today, I'm going to be teaching you guys what to practice and generally how to practice it. So I hope you all learned something interesting, and let's get started. Let's start out with a hard call out. Can you honestly do reversal super, both sides really consistently? And not only that, can you do a super after blocking an attack? Because we don't play Ram, bro, that shit's pretty hard. I mean, can you do an instant air dash into an Orca? I mean, you probably don't need to do that, but it's good to have it. Now for charging. Are you always charging or following the rule of ABC, always be charging? Because if not, your Mei is fucking neutered. Because you need to always be charging. If you're doing 2S, you should always be able to go with the Dolphin. Come on, if you can't do 6H in the Dolphin, there's a problem here. Damn it, I have a problem. Speaking of Dolphin though, can you do a Dolphin into a fast Roman cancel into a Charge Dust? It sounds gimmicky, but you'll probably hit this at least once a set, so you're going to want to be able to do it. And I know a lot of you have a hard time doing close slash into close slash on block, but that's probably one of the most important things you should be practicing if you don't already know how to do it. And even though YRC doesn't exist, you should be able to mash out frame perfect whether you hit somebody with it or you got hit with it, because that timing is really weird. Finally, for execution, you really want to be frame perfect around start. Because that shit's hard, and if you're not frame perfect, you'll get exploded by like Soul 6H. You don't want that. Now let's move on to everybody's favorite thing to practice, defense. For characters where you need a 6P for offense sometimes, like Mei or Giovanna, you should have the self-control to only do 6P when you actually need to do it. Like if you're getting to the end of Geo strings, and you're always getting counter hit by a dog kick because you're trying 6P, you should sit down and practice your reactions to only do the 6P when you see the flip kick or for like the spiral arrow kick. And you should always be blocking a dog kick, theoretically. I know it's hard. This is the exact same thing for Mei. You should only be doing 6P when you see the heavy slash dolphin. If you're doing an S dolphin, you always just block it out. For mix-up heavy characters like Anji, Leo, or Chip, you should be able to block out the majority of it, assuming it's not unreactable, and also counter when they take a heavy commitment. Like if the Leo is doing a cross-up, you should be able to throw it like 9 out of 10 times, assuming it's not a setup. You should be able to consistently use the up dolphin counters against Anji's Fuji's mix, which I have a video on above. For Chip, I think the most important thing is you should be able to react to the command grab pretty consistently. I'll be honest, I'm not able to do it, so I'm still practicing it, but you should do it. And for Eno, you should try and practice, but honestly, it's really hard. So good luck, bro. Slight tangent, but when I'm practicing my defense, I like to set up 4 or 5 different slots to use. For slot 1, I'll do 1 or 2 attacks into a frame trap, for example, Soul doing close slash, far slash into heavy slash. I like to set the frequency to this one to 3 or 4, because it makes it harder to tell when the mix-up is actually coming because this one's so frequent. For slot 2, I'll always do 1 hit into a mix-up like a grab or Leo cross-up or something like that. The frequency for this one will always be 1. Slot 3 will always be 2 attacks into a mix-up, so like Soul, close slash, far slash, and then grab. Frequency is also 1 for this. Slots 4 and 5 are very similar to 2 and 3, the only difference being is they'll use a different mix-up than the original one. Like if you did a cross-up for the first one for Leo, the next one should be a command grab. Forgot to mention, all of these I like to start off with a grab just for consistency's sake. At this point you set it to play at random, and then you reset the position to be in the corner with you in the corner, and then you just start practicing. I like to do this about once or twice a week just to get the muscle memory in. Currently, I'm practicing this on Eno, and honestly, it's not going super well. In the past, I've done things Giovanna, Mei, Soul, a lot of different characters. One final thing that's important to practice is to practice your faultless defense usage. Because if you faultless defense when somebody does like a tick normal on you, like a Kai 5k, you'll almost always be able to react to their dash and grab with your own tech or jump or backdash. Not many people really know this or practice this, but if you practice this a lot, it's going to make it really hard for strike versus throw characters to get an opening on you. Let's move on to something that I know we're probably already practicing, if we're being honest, which is our offense and our combos. First up, you need to be able to time your meaties really well. If you're getting grabbed out of your close slash, well, for one, shame on the opponent for doing that to you, how dare they. But second, this is giving up an extremely high amount of offense that you normally have. So you should practice this on every single knockdown. Up dolphin, throw, 2D, 3K, everything. You should be able to always time your close slash here. You should also be able to punish wake up backdash from the Hotashi wannabes, because that one's actually pretty hard to punish, but if you do get it down, you'll be getting some really nice combos. And in case you don't know how to set this up, you go in the pause menu, you go to training settings, then you go to counter attack settings, then you scroll down after recovery, and then you should set it to be backdash for 1 and grab for 2, and then set it to be random. I'm gonna have to call out some of my subscribers here, because whenever I fight some of you, I've noticed you try to do the 4-way mix-up of a grab, but often you'll mess up the execution of it. And I'm gonna have to say, you need to get that shit down. Most common errors I see is the overhead kiss not being able to stop grabs, and if they do the cross up, they get grabbed out of it. And those timings are really hard, but I I recommend practicing it a lot, because that actually kind of carries you, bro, no cap. Also, whenever you land a free K, you should always be able to get your safe jump with JH. Recently, I almost lost a set just because of the fact I could not get my JH down for the life of me. I kept getting wake up jabbed and grabbed. Felt really bad, so I had to go practice that. For the combos though, my biggest thing is that you should know how to combo off of all of your main openers. Close slash, 5H, 6H, 2H, 5P, fuck. I mean, every move you should know how to do an optimal combo on counter hit, normal hit, air hit, backdash. Just gotta know that shit. I mean, considering one of the biggest benefits of playing Mei is that their damage is fucking huge, if you're not getting optimal damage out of your combos, then you're really leaving a lot on the table there. And also, you should be able to theoretically confirm almost all of your hits. The hardest one I find is to confirm your 5P into 3K. I'm still working on this one because sometimes I'll just do 5P then do 3K on blocking get fucking exploded. So I need to work on that, and probably so do you. Also, some people struggle with hit confirming their normals. So if you do struggle with that, I recommend setting the opponent to block randomly, then confirming if you got your hit or if they blocked, and then doing what you need to do afterwards. Now, in this video, I'm not going to cover much about neutral, although there is a lot we could talk about, like shadow boxing, spacing your moves properly, and stuff like that. So if you're interested, comment down below about it and leave a like. But the two last things I'm going to talk about is practicing your anti-airs and learning your punishes on random normals. For anti-airs, you should know how to use each of your anti-airs and what normals they're really good against. Because obviously 6P is good against everything, but if you can get more reward by using the 2H, then you should be doing that. For example, if Kai is using his JH a lot, then you probably don't want to try using 2H because it doesn't trade super favorably of that. But if he's using JS, then you can go underneath it and then do your 2H, and then you can get a really good combo there. But otherwise, you should be using 6P for that kind of normal. Or if somebody like Milia or Chip is super jumping around, then obviously a lot of your conventional anti-airs aren't going to reach. So you should get good at doing like your super jump JD, normal jump JD, or if you're just trapping your landing with 2D, there's a lot of options there for that. And obviously you should know which anti-airs are good against certain kinds of jumps. Like if somebody instant air dashes in, usually 5H is pretty good unless they're using a specific kind of hitbox. Or if they're just doing a normal forward jump, then your air-to-airs can work like JK, JP, JH, JS, literally every air button. Run under 2H, walk back 2D, a lot of things work there. But might not work on an instant air dash. And of course, if you want to go for the peak mental damage, you should try practicing your air throws. This is more helpful to practice in game, but there are some setups like close slash and then jump air throw to jump them. Fuck, I don't know. You know what I mean. Now for punishing normals that are giving you a hard time, I recommend going on Dust Loop and taking a look at the hitbox to see if it's disjointed, see how fast it is. What? Not going over frame data in the video, bro. I play by feel, trust me. Actually, no, I don't. Fuck. Let's say you struggle with Ramnafall Far Slash, because we all do, fuck that move. So you can go into training mode and set the Ramnafall to do Far Slash and then block or attack again or jump or something. And you can play around with your spacings and see what punishes at what range. Like, you might learn that if you're outside of its range, you can jump over it and get a punish. If you're within its range, you can 6P, you can 2K to try and counter hit. If you're at the tip of it, you can try just running out 2S and like fucking trade, or maybe I won't, I don't know. But there's a lot of things you could try, and having that option to practice against it is really strong. Alternatively, instead of labbing for yourself, you can go watch a top player play against that character, see how to try to punish it, and then you can replicate it in training mode. And there's obviously a lot more I could talk about here, such as shadow boxing or video reviews. So if you would like me to go over that, comment down below. Otherwise, that's all I got. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.